Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.
Hello and welcome to Nirmal Bang, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiral Dadia. We have with us Teresa John, research analyst, economist, institutional desk at Nirmal Bang, joining in. Welcome to the show, Teresa, and a very good morning. Firstly, let's start the conversation with regards to the economic recovery that we are seeing right now. Uh, if you talk about the impact of COVID and how the recovery has been so far, what would your stance be on the same?
Yeah, so we had the initial lockdown from the end of March going until about mid-May. So that was a strict lockdown. So from May onwards, we have seen improvement in the indicators. So May and June, it was a sort of a V-shaped recovery. Then in June and July, August, we saw some. I mean, it's not worsening, but some flattening in the recovery. But then again in September, a lot of the data has actually surprised slightly on the upside, compared to most expectations. So in some sectors, for example, in manufacturing, we are seeing quite a sharp recovery if you're going by the PMI numbers. Agri has been doing quite well all along, mainly supported by the government procurement program and a good Rabi harvest and good Kharif sowing. Probably the services sector, the recovery mainly in the travel and tourism, hotel segments, the recovery is taking a little longer because, and understandably so, mainly because these industries involve very high contact intensity, and given the virus situation, people may be slightly reluctant to go out, even as things are opening up now.
Right. So, if you take data with regards to where the virus goes, visa, taking into consideration the second fortnight of September, what is that indicating? Are you getting indications that the virus could have peaked right now? Or are you seeing cases which are increasing? With that, the recovery rate is also higher. What is that math looking like?
Yeah, so I mean, probably I think everyone has been reading in the news that, and the headlines always say the total number of cases are increasing, but if you actually see the number of active cases in the second fortnight of September, it has come down by 5%. So I mean, we what was around 9.4 lakh crore has come in the in September 15th is 5% lower as of September 30th. So obviously the number of recoveries are increasing, and even if you see the actual number of deaths, so in the previous fortnight we used to see, like, 4,000 deaths go to 8,000 deaths, so it's like an exponential increase. But in this fortnight, compared to the previous fortnight, the number of deaths have gone up, but it's broadly around what was like 16,000 at end of 15th September. During that fortnight ending 15th September has gone up to around 16,300. So it's not increasing at an exponential.
Hmm.
So all of this probably maybe nearing the peak. I mean, obviously, I am not a medical expert to predict
Right.
the virus cases would be, but at least from a data standpoint, looking at the data, I feel that probably we may be nearing a peak.
Right. And with all of this, if you talk about the data which is coming in with regards to rural as well as urban employment, with that, the quantum of e-way bills that are being generated, the GST collections that are coming up, what is that data suggesting with regards to where businesses are concerned?
Yes, the urban and rural unemployment rates are now back above pre-COVID levels. So this is broadly tracking your daily wage laborers and that segment rather than your formal sector jobs. So clearly, in the informal sector, a lot of the jobs have come back and people are going out to work. So even if I see the Google mobility indicators, particularly at the workplaces, that we've been seeing steady improvement over the past couple of months. So all of these suggest that jobs are coming back, and even your e-way bills data On a daily average basis from September 2019 to September 2020, the report suggests that it's up by around 9.3% year on year. So, which is again suggesting that activity is coming back and probably returning at least to pre-COVID levels.
Right. And apart from that, if you see in terms of where rural growth story is concerned, are you getting indications that the sustenance is going to be there with regards to where the rural story goes? Because a lot is dependent right now with regards to where revival is concerned on rural India.
Yeah, so on the rural story, so at least from in the first quarter and most of the second quarter, I mean, the positives were mainly coming from the fact that your Rabi harvest was very good, and on top of that, the government procurement systems were working very well in terms of procurement of wheat, and that is kind of what has sustained the rural story so far. So what people have been saying is that whether this rural story kind of sustains will depend on how the Kharif procurement goes. So now the crop is hitting the market, and if you see, the government is putting out press releases on a daily basis, which is showing the progress in their Kharif procurement. So they are very committed to that, and the procurement, particularly in the northern states of Haryana, Punjab, UP, it is progressing quite well. So I am quite positive that this rural story would sustain, at least on the so I mean, we need to differentiate the rural and the agri. So agri is part of the bigger rural story, and that part is doing well. There are other segments, obviously, which have been hit because of the pandemic. For example, your remittances coming in from the urban areas going into rural areas. So that will probably be about at least 20-30% of your rural income. So those segments have been hit. And even your casual employment, not in the agri sector, but in the non-agri sector in the rural areas, that was hit because of the pandemic. But probably if you look at the unemployment data now, that those sort of jobs may be coming back, but the remittances component, I think, is not coming back, at least maybe for the whole of FY21. So the agri story can provide some respite when all the other sectors are slowing, but it cannot entirely replace the demand in the urban areas and coming in from the other sectors.
Right. And again, on the infrastructure spends front on the capex, what is data suggesting? Do you think that's something which could continue to remain slightly muted right now?
Yeah, so on the capex part, in the first quarter of FY21, government spending was very strong. So from the private sector, there is no spend coming in, and I don't see recovering anytime soon. But what is kind of worrying is in the month of July and August, there's been a cutback in expenditure even from the government side. Overall, and the private sector capex data, I mean, so what is coming out from CMI suggests that the new announcement of projects has actually slowed in the second quarter of FY21, so compared even to the first quarter. But although there is some effort to on completing the existing projects. In general, in the private sector capex, what we see is unless capacity utilization in the economy, moves closer to 80%, you do not see very large capex announcement from the private sector. Right now, capacity utilization is probably around 67, 68%. So we have a long way to go before you see the private sector recovery actually coming in.
Right. So from here on, Teresa, what are the parameters and indicators that one should be watching out for to understand the revival path from here on for the economy?
So actually now most of the services sectors are opening up from this month or onwards. At least the government has permitted that. So that is one thing that we will be watching, because the services sector, roughly constitutes around 60% of the economy. And over time, the share of services in the global economy has also been increasing. So that is one thing that we would closely watch on how things pan out, because that is also a huge employment generator in the economy. And apart from that, we'll continue to track all the indicators. Or as far as the agri sector is concerned, as far as the manufacturing sector is concerned, and high frequency data to see how the recovery is actually panning out.
Right, so these are the data points that we should be watching out for from here on as well. Thank you, Teresa, so much for joining us to get us more insights as to what are indicators looking like and what we should be watching out for from here on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.